What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today we are going to be showcasing how to get all 3 of the currently available exotic catalysts. There's a 4th one, but it comes from the dungeon, which isn't here yet, for the Praxic Blade exotic sword, aka the Lightsaber, which has just been added to Destiny 2 in the new Renegades expansion. All 3 of these catalysts are absolutely nuts and will make your already god-tier Praxic Blade even god-tier-ier. Anyways, let's get started. Now, some important things to note before we begin. First of all, you will actually have to have the Praxic Blade in order to get any of these catalysts. You can't do the catalyst mechanics in the same run you get the Praxic Blade, so if you haven't done that, check out my guide on how to do so, linked right up above. And you have to know all the mechanics of that exotic mission because we're going to be expanding upon it in this video. Additionally, guys, when you beat the campaign for Renegades, you're going to get this exotic quest involving the Praxic Blade. You have to take it out, get a few kills with it, some pretty minor stuff. This will require you to beat the Fire and Ice exotic mission one more time, and it will give you either the blue or green crystal, depending on which one you got initially, so you might as well, do that exotic mission and get these catalysts at the same time. Now, on top of that, guys, in terms of difficulty, we got all of our catalysts on legendary difficulty, but I have been hearing reports that you can get at least some of these on normal difficulty, so it's up to you what you want to do. Do you want to copy me that I can confirm legendary drops them, or do you want to kind of go into normal and see what happens? Up to you. And speaking of that same mindset, this exotic mission actually has a special mechanic that will enable a time trial. So as you can see right here, after you defeat the Waves of Taken and head through this portal and switch dimensions, you're going to interact with this object, and then you're going to see a bunch of new objects that were not here in your first run through spawn. If you shoot all of them, and don't shoot them too fast together, it can actually screw it up, but if you shoot all of them, as you can see, it will give you a 30-minute timer for this exotic mission. Now, this will improve your rewards. Apparently, it is not required for any of these catalysts. However, I have been hearing reports that some of these catalysts have buggy drops, and enabling the time trial, because it improves your rewards, will give you a better chance to get these exotic catalysts. So again, we got everything with the time trial on. It seems to have a better chance to actually drop them, but I have been hearing reports that it's not required, so up to you guys. And the final thing I'm going to mention is a bonus reward for your Praxic Blade. Guys, load into the Tharsis spaceport. Off to your right, you can sometimes find a dreg laying down here. Spam, buy stuff from him. He's usually going to give you nothing, but then eventually he'll give you a power core, which will add elemental keywords to your blocking ability. So, yeah, there you go. Hey, if that doesn't deserve a like for this video, I don't know what does. I didn't know where to put this in any other video, so there you go. All right, now as for the catalysts themselves, so the 3 different catalysts are going to all have different mechanics going through this exotic mission, and I believe you are able to get all 3 at the same time. As you can see, we actually got 2 at the same time. So this may be pretty hard to do with the time trial to get all 3, but it is possible. So, as for our first exotic catalyst, this one is the easiest to acquire. Near the beginning of the mission, before you enter into the Cabal base, you actually want to peel off to the right and then the left. As you can see, if you follow the same direction I go in the background gameplay, and if you do, eventually you'll come across the Imbalanced Warden, a Taken mini-boss. So, take this guy out, and you'll actually see the text appear in the bottom left corner of your screen that the realm trembles. Now, you're then going to go to the opposite side, so if you head off to the right first, then you go far left, again, as you can see in the background gameplay, to find another of these Imbalanced Warden Taken mini-bosses. So, take that guy out, and then you'll actually see the text appear that the remnants of darkness persist through time. So then you're going to go on with the rest of the exotic mission. We're going to talk about the other catalyst mechanics in a second, but eventually you are going to turn the realm upside down. You will see this like cutscene on your screen. At this point, you're going to be teleported back to the original realm, as you can see right here. And then you actually need to go off to the same locations where you killed these taken mini bosses, and you need to use your Praxic Blade to hit these like taken spheres, these remnants. That, if you hit both of them, will guarantee your catalyst drop, guys. So that's the first like catalyst mechanics, killing those mini bosses, doing the mission until you get to the part where you're kind of back in this normal realm, and then hitting those remnants with your Praxic Blade, guys. Alright, now moving on from there, we have the mechanics to get the second exotic catalyst, Echoing Blade. So, for this one, during the jumping puzzle segment of this exotic mission, you actually have 7 hidden objects to find. These objects, called oddities in-game, will resemble those taken spheres we just saw. So 7 hidden taken spheres that you have to hit with your Praxic Blade, either by smacking it up close or by throwing it. And you're gonna want to stop before you drop down this spire, because if you mess this up, you're gonna have to restart the whole mission. The first one is only accessible, guys, when you are dropping down this spire. You actually need to head off and land on this ledge where you have a light, as you can see right here. So don't fall all the way down. Now, once you do land on this ledge, you're gonna see more ledges with more lights. So simply follow them and head the route you see me head in the background gameplay, until eventually you get to this location. You can actually see the taken sphere like through this essentially window, but it's blocked off by like metal bars. You can't hit it with your Praxic Blade. But beside it, as you can see, you actually have those kind of stones that have the special symbol on them, where if you touch them with your Guardian, they disappear, right? Like these are going to be present throughout the entire exotic mission. And so what you need to do is you actually need to go to kind of where the window is, where you can see the object, and then run along the ledge to disable all of these different blocks. And then you need to go to this part and chuck your Praxic Blade all the way down to hit this first object, guys. So that's 1 of 7. There are 7 hidden objects here. The next one is going to be right after you drop down, guys. As you can see right here, I simply head off to this corner. We have yet another of these blocks with the symbol on it. So I activate it, I go through, and then I need to jump up to this ledge, crouch walk my way through, squeeze my way into the next room, guys. And then here, I need to squeeze through another room, like crouch walk through a slanted block, and then go around the corner, and then I have my second object I need to destroy. Now at this point, you may have noticed there's actually going to be special ammo crates somewhere in the vicinity of all of these objects, so don't worry about necessarily running out of Praxic Blade ammo. Alright, but continuing from there, the next object is going to be found when you reach this like massive wall where you have to crouch walk, and there's the objects that try to shove you off the edge. You're going to go all the way to the far side, in fact, beyond the far side. As you can see, there's actually a hidden ledge around the far right corner that you can stand on. You jump your way up, and then eventually you will find another one of these hidden objects. That's 3 out of 7. Then you're going to continue from there until you reach this section here. You can actually see one of the objects you need through this window. So how do you get to it? Well, you actually need to jump up on this ledge right here, and then crouch walk forward right on this small ledge, guys, and then I would actually use your Praxic Blade to jut you forward like through this gap so you can hit this other crouch walking ledge. It's almost impossible to jump up on that second ledge because you need to kind of already be crouched. So that's what I did to get through there. And if you are able to squeeze through, again, you're going to see one of those blocks with the symbol, stand on it, drop down, and you have a couple more blocks and you can just throw your Praxic Blade and hit that next Oddity. So after that, you're going to keep going past the disappearing floor until you're above of said disappearing floor. Now, at this point, guys, what you actually need to do is look for these kind of pillars that are jutting down that actually have a cavity in them. As you can see, they actually have those disappearing blocks above them. One of them you can't jump up, but the other one, as you can see, you can. You're gonna look up and see that recognizable symbol. So you activate it, you jump up here into a hidden room, and then you can actually throw your Praxic Blade through this slit in the wall to hit another one of these oddities. That's 5 out of 7. Then you actually need to go to like a new symbol on the ground and drop down kind of the pillar that you weren't able to jump up before. Anyways, guys, so we're going to continue forward from there. You're going to get into this kind of new section out here where you have the hobgoblins shooting at you. And then you're going to go until you get to this part right here. When you get to the solid ground that's not disappearing under your feet with the stairs, as you can see, there's actually little ledges jutting out if you look over the edge right here. So these little ledges are going to, if you follow them down, point to another one of these objects. Now, you can kind of see, you're actually kind of supposed to, I think, throw your Praxic Blade, hit this like colored diamond on the wall, and it bounces and hits this object. It did not work for me. Like the bounce like just did not work. And so what I actually ended up doing was just jump. Like you're gonna die, but as you can see, you can just chuck your Praxic Blade just before you fall to your death, and you can hit this no problem. That is 6 out of 7. Now, as for the 7th one, guys, this is a tough one. And if you have a grapple, it's really going to help you get to the area you need to go to, which is the very top of this tower, guys. So you can get up here without grapple. It's a lot harder. You need to try to jump on these like ledges of the ice wall that just barely let you stand on them. As you can see, technically you're supposed to, I believe, go all the way around the back route, which you can see me like look at, but you can also just grapple up here really easily. But regardless of how you actually get up here, once you are up here, you will see this object, but it is like completely inaccessible. Once again, you have these like different colored diamonds that you're supposed to throw. It does like a double bounce and it goes in. It never works, right? So how we actually ended up doing it was what you can see in the background gameplay. The person who got it just jumped up and looked directly at the object and just tried to chuck the Praxic Blade right when they were at the top of the jump so it can go through this little hole and reach it and hit it. But this is likely going to be the trickiest one that takes the most time, so just keep that in mind. But if you do get it, guys, that is all 7 oddities. As long as you actually complete the exotic mission, you know, within the time, if you did enable the time trial, then you will get that second catalyst. Now, as for the 3rd exotic catalyst, you're going to continue with the exotic mission. In fact, the very next section after the jumping puzzle is your first like real encounter here, guys. So normally you're supposed to balance out these like deposit holes in the sky. Not this time. What you actually want to do is overload each one of the 4 different like deposit holes in the sky, and you have to do each like different one. You can't do the same one twice. So what that actually means is, as you can see right here, you kill one of these cleaved enemies, you spawn a certain kind of orb, and then you throw it, you overload it at whatever like the nearest deposit station is. So we get a bunch of light orbs, paired orbs, and we chuck them all into the same light deposit hole. That is going to completely fill it up. And then what's going to happen is that you actually get a special mini boss that spawns. So if you overload a light hole, then you actually get these Cabal mini bosses that spawn right here, guys. And when you kill one of these bosses, as you can see, those taken spheres that we've been seeing for all the other mechanics, they're actually going to spawn in this central area on one of these pillars. You're going to leave them for now, guys. Now, instead, if you get the darkness orb, the unpaired orbs to spawn, you're going to pick them all up and spam them as fast as you can all into the same dark hole to overload it, right? And that is going to spawn a Taken mini boss in a different location, as you can see. So go off and kill that guy when it spawns. Once again, killing this guy will spawn another one of those spheres. And eventually, that will mean you overload all 4 of those deposit holes, right? That means you end up fighting 4 of these different mini bosses, 2 Cabals for the 2 light ones, and 2 Taken mini bosses for the 2 dark ones. And then when you actually fight all 4, and as a result of killing all 4, you've spawned the 4 Taken spheres. As you can see, now you want to take out your Praxic Blade and destroy all 4 spheres in quick succession. This will actually spawn a new special boss, a Taken Ogre, as you can see. So you're going to need to kill this boss. And when you do, you're going to see the text in the bottom left of your screen that something has shifted in the Praxic Vault. At this point, you now just need to do this encounter as normal. So no more overloading. You're going back to balancing the different sides, balancing light by throwing in, one on one side, one on the other side, alternating stuff like that, and getting through this encounter as you normally would. And then once you properly complete this encounter, we are then going to turn the realm upside down. At this point, this is when you would go out to activate the Taken spheres for those first mini bosses you fought at the beginning that we talked about at the beginning of the video, by the way. But after you're done that, you're going to head into the boss fight. And we do have one additional mechanic for the boss fight, and that is simply that new holes have spawned. So normally, it's just 2 black holes that you need to deposit in to lower the very last chunk of the boss's health. But as you can see now, there are light holes, light deposit holes. And so what this means is that you need to get the boss all the way down to the last chunk of health where you're supposed to start spawning the cleaved enemies and get these orbs. But now you need to do the light ones first. And so remember, for the mechanics, like when the cleaved enemies spawn, only one side spawns at a time. And then you have to go and activate this object right here to spawn the other side. So only the Cabal cleaved enemies will spawn at first, which means if you want the light ones, only one person can go, they kill one Cabal, and then they need to go and kill the other Cabal to actually get the light orbs. So don't have 2 teammates kill both the Cabals. You get the buff, and then it's like, well, you need to like spawn the Taken guys, have the 3rd guy kill them, and then spawn the Cabals back to get the light orbs. So don't do that, right? Get the light orbs, throw them in. You will have to then spawn the Taken versions. One guy kills the first Taken, then goes and kills the second Taken to get the light orbs. Throw those in. Once the light ones are full, both of them are full, so they're balanced, like you're throwing one into one, the other one into the other, like you have to throw them just like you did in the previous encounter. You have to balance them, so don't throw them all into one. Then you go as normal. Like you get the dark orbs, you fill up the darkness holes in the sky, and once those are balanced, then you're gonna have the big bad bosses shields go down, and then you can finish this guy off, clear out the enemies, guys. And then at the end, as you can see, you actually have like the lightsaber part chests spawn, you want to interact with them, and those will actually straight up give you the exotic catalysts that you earned throughout that run, guys. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.